Hi, it's me, Dr. KT, and welcome to ODDDUCKSCIENCE. Now, you should be here because you want to know why we as Americans are vitamin D deficient. Now, let's talk about vitamin D. Vitamin D is a hormone that regulates bone metabolism. Think strong teeth, strong bones. It's also vital for the immune system. Studies showed back during COVID, people who had contracted COVID-19 had low vitamin D levels. We also know that vitamin D helps with mood disorders and brain function. So now that we know all there is to know about vitamin D and its function, let's talk about how we can get it and what is recommended. Currently, the RDA states for ages 19 to 70, which most of us are, we need about 600 IUs, which stands for international units. You should be thinking, oh, well, where do I get that? That seems like a lot. Of course, you can get it from foods like salmon, trout, sardines, mushrooms, eggs, milk, and your plant-based milks as well, and your fortified cereals where it has been added in. Now, the most efficient way and my favorite way is going outside and being in the sun. So we can obtain vitamin D from UVB rays that come from the sun. Doctors and dermatologists are saying about 5 to 10 minutes during the summer months will give you about 1,000 IUs. Now, I just said you need 600, but being in the sun will give you 1,000. But if you have higher concentrations of melanin and pigment, you need more than the 5 to 10 minutes. Let's talk about mighty melanin. Everybody has melanin unless you've been diagnosed with albinism, because melanin gives pigment to your hair, your eyes, and your skin. The difference is some of us have more concentrated pigment than others. Because our skin is rich in melanin, it is at odds with vitamin D. Just like we have SPF, which stands for sun protection factor, to put on so we don't get burned, black people and brown people, darker skinned people have their own SPF. We have our own SPF called MPF. That's what I'm calling it. I came up with it, which is Melanin Protector Factor. It blocks the much needed UVB rays that I just talked about from the sun coming in and breaking down that vitamin D into a way that we can use it. Melanin does this because where we originated from, our ancestors, we were near the equator. And so melanin was there to protect us from getting burned in the sun. And it also had another great benefit, which was it protected folate synthesis, which is needed when you're talking about fetal reproduction and fetal formation. You want healthy reproduction. So that was the way that our bodies were uniquely made so that we would be protected in two different ways. Now, just because I'm saying that we have MPF does not mean we do not need sunscreen. Put on that sunscreen, because black people, hear me again, black people do get sunburned. I've been burned quite a few times. Now, for the rest of America that does not fall in the category of being black, you can be deficient based on where you live. And it's double if you're black and you live up north. Data states that in the winter, little to no vitamin D is produced from the months of November through February due to little to no sunlight exposure. We are normally running in and out from our car to the building to our homes just to stay warm. Now, another demographic that is also vitamin D deficient is women over the age of 50. We start seeing things about osteoporosis. You may even see stuff about rickets, but the rickets is a whole nother subject. But what we see with women is their levels begin to decrease, and we don't see a comparable decline in men until they're about 70. Interesting. I think it has to do something with estrogen. Now, let's get into the 3 Ds. Let's decode. First, vitamin D deficiency affects the mood. It affects bone health and immune health. And there's also a biomolecule melanin that carries a protection factor for black and brown people that hinders vitamin D synthesis. It keeps those UVB rays out. Second D, diversify. How does this affect me and my community? Ooh, we are some moody people during the winter when we are vitamin D deficient. People seem to be meaner in the winter and much more friendlier in the summer. Hello, festival time. Everyone becomes family and community. I wonder why. That good old vitamin D Also, did you know that 70% of kids ages 6 to 11 are vitamin D deficient? Y'all make them kids go outside in the summer. Make them go outside. Now, the last D, dazzle. Although I possess MPF, which is the Melanin Protection Factor, on my side, I still need to wear SPF so I don't burn. And y'all, please go outside. Go outside. It is Juneteenth weekend, so there are going to be all kinds of festivals, and I will definitely be outside multiple times. Well, I hope you learned something, and as always, science is accessible to everyone. Until then, have a glorious day and go outside. Go outside.